Okay, so Wacky Blues Professors. Welcome to Eurosonic and the coverage of MTV Adria and Belgrade Beat. Could we start by just each of you saying your name and what instrument you play?
I'm Zlatko Djogic, I play the drums.
Miha Ribaric, bass.
I'm Miha Eric, I play harmonica.
And I'm Julian Eric and I play guitar and sing. And the drummer also sings, and my brother also sings. So we have 3 singers and
I rap.
4-piece band.
Okay, so my first question is, how did the band evolve into its current form today, where you are today, and how did it start and all of that?
Oh, yeah, it started quite a long time ago when we were in high school. Me and the drummer were through a couple of bands playing together. And that's how we established a solid friendship, which lasted till now. And then my brother, who is younger, joined us on harmonica. And actually, in a couple of years, we met Miha, who played the bass, and he had this more solid approach, which was even better for our style compared to the former bassist. So that's how we made this solid.
Which year did you start with that?
It was I think it was around 2008.
And so you just started playing together and then doing gigs around Slovenia, is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we had to make a way for us because there's not a lot of bands playing that kind of music. So we just had to make the strong beat and try to establish a community with that kind of music in our country.
Yeah, what's the scene like at this point? Is it?
It's right now. It's quite great, because when we were speaking with these older cats who were playing 30 years ago, they were all talking about very good music scene. And when we came out, there was actually not so much clubs to play in. But now, 5 years, 6 years, the scene just blossomed. Now you have quite a few places where you can hear a live band playing.
Okay, so how many shows do you play a year, for example, in Slovenia?
I mean, average, I would say from 200 to 250, something like that.
Oh wow!
Per year.
Per year, wow. Okay, so how do you go about writing songs? Because I notice there's a very jammy element to what you do. So what's the process like? Does somebody come with an idea, or is it just the jams evolve into something?
Yeah, actually, somebody comes with the idea. I mean, it depends on the song. It depends if there are lyrics. If there are lyrics, then song is probably a little bit more closed, but still not. I mean, we still have songs that have lyrics, but we still have some parts that we jam. I mean, everybody contributes his part, and when we have rehearsals, we just. I mean, we're so relaxed that we actually know when we're gonna jam and how long are we gonna jam, and then we go to the other part if we like. So everything is kind of open, and that's how we work. So I mean, we're so different characters. If everybody would be so much egoistic, it would be like a war or something.
So is there one person who you consider the band leader, or who sort of does the most of the booking or anything? Or are you all just everybody's helping out?
Yeah, we have this open relationship for communicating to just split the roles, so I don't know if anyone has an idea, he just tells to others, and
does that ever
try
lead
to pursue it
to arguments?
Yeah, I mean sometimes we have to talk if something to get an agreement. Sometimes we need more time. We don't take everything for granted, but we just talk about it and find the best way or option. And that's also how is it with the songwriting and making instrumental music. But the show last night, I mean, we try to avoid this standard set list program. Yeah, let's do these songs, because we can do 5-minute songs or 2-minute songs if we want to. We have very structured songs, and we can play 13 songs which are going to be 4 minutes, or we can play 5 songs like yesterday which are going to be 10 minutes. So it depends on the feeling and everything, how we feel.
Yeah, I was really impressed by just the vibe of these guys are going for it. I saw last night you were really going for it, and it's like when I find when bands just go for it like that, the audience has like no choice but to go with them, you know? I didn't really feel like you were looking up to the audience to feed you energy. You had your own energy on stage, which was really nice to see. And yeah, I think they went with it. So how has growing up in Slovenia influenced your music? Maybe not directly with the sounds or anything, but like the culture that you grew up in. What role does that play in the music that you make?
I know we're not. I mean, we all our ancestors all came from former Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
So it's a big mixture of
Okay.
everything. So if we would have to say just Slovenian music,
No, not
That's
just
kinda-
the music, but the culture of the former Yugoslavia. How has that influenced your band? Do you think it plays a role?
I'm not sure. Maybe in a way that the like Afro-American culture is similar to Balkan culture. In that aspect, I think it's a big influence. But if that theory doesn't, work, then I don't know what to say. But maybe if we're like the part of Europe, which is kind of black, like a Louisiana in the USA, then yeah, sure, you can play the blues in the Balkan area, and Slovenia is there. Maybe that's one point.
Maybe
Yeah, I
like
know.
we were in a place where, like I said, there wasn't a lot of this music, and maybe that was the right place for us to come up with it, or to come up with jamming in this kind of style, because it's usual in our country. Like, I mean, the folk traditions is something different, but like a lot of people who are jamming are only jazz musicians here in our country, and they're doing these jams only structured just like one solo and another solo, and like just typical jazz type of soloing, and it was great to be in one small town with a lot of musicians and just try to come up with. It's like very known style for years, but nobody actually play it like that, and maybe that's how the scene we were. That's how we. I can't find the English word for it. That's how the place was. I don't know what.
Build up, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that you asked if how the space and the culture was affecting us. It was affecting us that there wasn't this scene, and it was a challenge for us to establish it, just because it wasn't there. So that's how it contributed to it.
So you made it.
Yeah, in a way, we can do a lot of gigs if we want now in our country. It's like 8 years of hard work till you get to the point that the people start to call you, and so I don't know.
Okay, so you recently did a tour of the USA. Let's hear about that, the story of it and everything like that, because it's very interesting for me to hear about a band from the former U region going to the USA to play American-style sort of music. So how did the idea come about, and how did you book that tour?
Well, it was an improvised tour in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was. We didn't book that much of like gigs in advance, because a lot of times they just don't answer to emails and stuff, and we didn't even put so much effort into advanced planning.
So you just went there?
Yeah, that was the point. We just wanted to go there, and we had like a gig or two, but we just wanted to get there and see what happens, because we know the music we play is like energetic, and if they gave us a chance, we'll like play it, and then something will happen. That's how it did. Like every city we went to, we just found a open mic night or a jam night, and we got on stage.
How long were you there for?
3 months.
Oh wow.
So we went from coast to coast, from New York to LA, and just like driving through all the cities, like St. Louis, Memphis, and all the blues cities. And then we just got on stage with open mic nights, and then we got a gig the next night because they heard us. Because if you haven't got like a strong marketing, like a business point of view, then our point of view is just music, and then that's how we did it. That's how we got gigs, by playing around.
Wow, that's
And when
great.
it started, and we saw that this is actually can function. You know, we just started driving around and playing everywhere, and people loved the music, and they invited us to play.
Wow.
They even made some space in between some bands, you know, to give us just like 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour. That was great. We really appreciate it.
And was it what you expected, the USA and how the culture works over there?
Well, musically speaking, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was, but it's like I got that feeling that all these countries, like, which have a similar system, like capitalism, would be like similar. You know, maybe for our next trip, maybe we can find something more like exotic, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, but your music has a strong American influence.
Yeah.
Was it in any way weird or strange to sort of take it home?
Actually, couple of Americans, they said, like about 3 Americans said that our kind of playing reminds, I mean, our approach reminds them about the English guys that went to the States in 70s, and they introduced their music on different kind of way. Because we don't play like standard blues, we mix the styles, and our approach reminded them on the British guys that came to the States in 70s, and they played their kind of, their kind of style, everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, people there are very nice. And I mean, when we were singing and we had our songs and lyrics, they said like, I mean, that we have like legend.
Huh? Legit.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a legit Southern accent, kind of.
Yeah.
But when I sing more like, yeah.
Yeah. It was a reality check.
It was a reality
It
check.
was a reality
Yeah.
check.
Passed.
Yeah. Everybody. We passed everywhere, so we can play anywhere on this
First, we
globe.
wanted to go just to because we haven't played in Europe much. And we said we were always thinking about going through around Europe and try to play and get some gigs in some other clubs than in Slovenia. But then, like, we put all this money we made from gigs together and said, well, fuck it, let's go to the States and see what happens. It's gonna be even bigger adventure and even more tricky in a way, but it was great, and we'll do it again.
Okay, so you mentioned somewhere more exotic you would like to tour. If you could transport yourself to another country right now and be there on stage, which one would it be? You can give multiple answers. but-
For me, I think, I don't know, Japan or maybe Asia.
Anybody else?
I'll go to Fatohiva.
Australia.
Kinshasa.
Cool. So, how does your approach to live show differ from your approach to recording? I mean, do you approach them the same, or?
Yeah, we only for now released one studio record, and it's we try to like I said before, we made a lot of songs which are structured like 3-minute songs with just lyrics and one solo and stuff like that. And then we also made some songs which were like 50 minutes long on the record, but only that in studio you can add some more instruments and you can make your own collage of things. And because you play live, you can just play with full power and energy, and people will love it. But in the studio, you have an opportunity to make some piece of art, which is different.
So do you record all together when you record, like all as a band?
Yeah, we record together.
No click.
Yeah, and then we overdubbed stuff
then-
that we needed to and added some extra stuff.
Yeah, like chorus and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So how was the crowd last night? How was the performance? Did you feel good afterwards?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, we
Sound was excellent, and people they were also great.
And do you expect your show tonight to be any different?
Well, I think, I mean,
You were gonna play different set, definitely. Yeah. In this
I
sense.
also think that it's gonna be a little bit crowded because this part this bar is in the center.
For sure, it's gonna be more bluesy.
but you never know what you're gonna get. I was thinking yesterday, because we were an opening act at 8 o'clock, I was thinking, there's like 8 places where the concerts are going on, there isn't gonna be a lot of people tonight. But then actually it was, I don't know, it was half full.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here for this, and yeah. So what do you hope what would happen from your performance? Are you just gonna sort of see how it goes, or are you aiming for something?
We're just aiming for like more people to hear us and maybe to get some invitations somewhere.
Just more playing.
We just love to play, just the things that we do in our country. When we play like 3 gigs a week, 4 weeks, we like to expand it, you know, to Europe and to some other countries. Try to play as much as possible.
So what would be the next level for you guys in your music career? What would be the next level? What's the dream for next year, this year?
Private jet plane. No, I don't know.
Making another record, probably. Yeah. Maybe try to even mix music with some more experimental stuff. And we did this gig back in Slovenia with one guy with electronics. You know, just the beginning of maybe a collaboration or something like that.
And
Well,
happens. Just touring, probably, just going around again.
and I have a plan to make a couple of songs that are actually going back in time, lost hits. They're gonna be like songs. I mean, they're my lyrics that I've wrote, and they're like from 50s and 60s, like this kind of countries kind of music. And I mean, it'll go a little bit back in time, so it's gonna be like Micha's lost hits. And I mean, we're gonna do something kind of.
Great. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck with your performance tonight, and yeah, getting out there this year and really making it happen. So thanks a lot for the interview, and have a great Eurosonic.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.